Guys, my name is Bruce, and I have a little presentation here to show you my secret backdoor strategy to booking high-quality paying gigs without contacts, without a press kit, without a demo, without experience. Let's get to it. First off, I'll tell you a little bit about myself real fast. I've been playing music since I was 17 years old. I'm a singer-songwriter, guitarist, a little bit of keyboards. I'm 32 years old. I live in Austin, Texas, which is considered the live music capital of the world. It's home of South by Southwest, which is, if you haven't heard of it, it's the greatest live music event and conference in the universe. Basically, the whole music industry comes to Austin for about a week, and it's just this mecca of music, so you got to check it out if you have a chance. I've played in several bands over the years. I've been in the same band now for about 3 years. We're still together, and we play regularly. And I've been fortunate enough to play some of the most notable venues in Austin. We've had radio airplay, we've toured the region, press and magazines, online publications, just really great times. And this is a picture of us playing Antones. And that arrow's pointing to me when they're playing the guitar. And Antones is a great venue. If you get a chance to come to Austin, check it out. Another Austin staple is Emos. There we are up there. My favorite, though, is the Parish. And check out all that room we have. I mean, that's amazing. When you first start playing gigs, you're kind of poking each other in the face with your guitar because you're so cramped. But once you start playing better gigs, you start getting more and more room, and they give you light shows, and then they give you good sound, and it's just this whole other world. But in these days, gigs come to us, which is awesome. We can call up a venue or our contact person, check the schedule, and usually have a show booked within a phone call, maybe two. We get paid fairly, we're treated with respect, and we just have a lot of fun in the process. Of course, it wasn't always this way. We started with nothing. I actually found my band members on Craigslist.com, and I had struggled in bands before that band and played few actual gigs. I recall handing out homemade CDs to venues all over town and not getting a single callback. And I'd even talked to people in person who promised me things that never come through. I hope you can relate. If so, you're not alone. But then I accidentally stumbled on a strategy that I'm about to show you that changed everything for me. So why should you use this strategy? Well, booking gigs sucks at first. Like I said, gigs lead to more gigs once you're established. Once you prove yourself, they actually start finding you. But what if you haven't played a legitimate gig yet? It's a chicken or the egg situation. Most club owners want to know you have experience before they'll give you a shot, but you can't get experience without being given that shot. So what do? It's very, very frustrating. This strategy bypasses that entirely. Let's talk about somebody real fast. The club owner or the booker. They're, depending on who you talk to, but getting that gig, the gatekeeper, is very important to understand how they think and how they tick. It's time to get inside their heads, basically. At their core, they're people who love music just like you. But the difference is they have a business to consider. They have overhead, they have inventory, they have employees. They're usually stressed out about something business related, so you can't take it too personally if they're grumpy or they're distant. You gotta put yourself in their shoes for a second. You're untested live. There's a good chance you have no following whatsoever. The recording probably sucks if you even have one. Why should he or she give you a shot when they could book a more established act that would prove more viable from a business perspective? It makes sense. If you're classified as a bad business venture, you might actually cost them money to allow you to play. So the typical band artist approach to getting a gig is you put together a recording of your practice, or maybe you have a CD you recorded. You approach the venue. You probably never actually see the club owner, so you hit up the bartender or the door guy. You drop off the CD, talk about your band, and ask if you can play a show. The CD usually gets lost or destroyed somehow throughout the night, and you're totally forgotten about. Even if you meet the club owner, this method is the wrong strategy and actually do more harm than good for your career. It screams amateur, and no one will take you seriously. Well, why? Because you're bringing zero value to the table. And I did this very thing more than once with no results. I remember one time I was helping another band try to get gigs. And we went up to all these different venues, and we were putting their CDs in like Ziploc bags because we didn't have cases for them. We were handing out these awful Ziploc bags with the CDs in them. And of course, we didn't get a single callback. And it's funny, 6 months later, that same band played Lollapalooza Chicago. Of course, they made the right contacts. And it's like, our approach ruined any chance of playing shows in Austin. And it was simply because we just looked unprofessional. To keep doing what you've always done, you're going to keep getting what you've always gotten. And that's a really great quote that I think is, I don't know who actually said that, but it's a really good one, and I try to live by that. I try to always be doing different things if I'm not getting the results that I want. Talk about the truth about the music industry. This is the number one most important thing, more important than anything else. It's more important than the music, unfortunately. It's more important than your image. It's more important than a killer press kit or a killer demo. It's more important than your work ethic. What could that be? Well, it's building and establishing good relationships. Relationships are the key to the music industry. In fact, the music industry is relationships at every single level, even more in the professional world. You are not an island, so don't expect to get famous without the help of a lot of other people. But at first, you're going to have to do everything yourself. So, good music plus relationships equals mega success. Always be focusing on building good relationships. If you're an introvert, it's time to get over it. You need to pick up books on networking or negotiating or something and learn how to deal with people effectively, break out of your shell, and just be more an effective person with networking. Music industry at its essence is a group of music lovers. People, just like you. Give them value. You always got to bring value to an interaction if you expect something from it. Rather than always seeing what people can do for you, approach situations with the mindset of how you can help each other out. Of course, this is networking 101, but there's something called the rule of reciprocity. It's actually kind of complicated, but it basically boils down to the fact that people feel inclined to help you when you first offer them something of value. It's a big shift in thinking that's going to change everything for you. So, okay, what this strategy does, I'm about to show you, is it gives value to the club owner or booking person rather than just expecting something. It utilizes this rule of reciprocity I told you about. It shows you're a professional to be taken seriously, and it secures paying gigs very quickly. It also builds your list of industry contacts very, very fast. So let's get started right now.